We'll find out. I'm just gonna open. I think it was a great announcement, don't you? Right, it's out. Huh? Alive. I don't know if we're live on the call. I think we are. Oh, we are. We are. Welcome to CoraL. Today we are playing against. We got Fuji Assassins versus Q and I. I am Hampy. We've got two other amazing expert casters with me. We have the beautiful and fantastic Zabator and Zoe. Say hello.
Hello.
Hey, what up? I'm really looking forward to this game.
It's gonna be fun. So it's gonna be fun to see what Fuji Assassins can bring to the table.
Definitely. Solari will be streamed, casted tomorrow for VODs, just due to casters and streamers being busy with real life stuff. So yeah, apologies for that. This is River though, yeah. Thank you for that, Gab. So yeah, what do you guys think? Have you got any hopes for this game? Do you know any previous players?
I know that Q&I is a returning team. They've played at least one season before, so I'm really looking forward to seeing them play again. But Fuji Assassins, as far as I'm aware, are completely new to the league, so it's going to be very fun to see what they have to bring to the table here.
Yeah, especially for us, right? Because we're both in River as teams. And I think it's going to be good for anyone, really, just to pick up the kind of things they do and what they focus on objective-wise and how they play the game and if they gel well, really. But it's always interesting to see a new team coming into CoraL anyway. Spoke briefly to them, seem really nice guys and people. So, yeah, it should be fun to play anyway. Have you got any thoughts on this game, Zab? Are you expecting any interesting picks at all?
Oh, I'm definitely interested or expecting a lot of interesting pick. It will be really interesting to see where both team decides to focus most on. Like, are they gonna play around the mid lane, or are they gonna play around top side or bot side? Which team can actually get the pace going for them and not fall into other teams' play style? It's definitely gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah,
Let's
for sure.
play after a game plan and see if they can actually play to their strength.
For sure, yeah. But yeah, so apologies for the delay, guys. The mid laner for the Q&I is fortunately running late due to train issues and getting here on time. But as Gab said, there is a poll ready, so please vote. Do we think Fuji Assassins will assassinate them and pick up their first win in the debut to CoraL, or do we think Q&I gonna big brain a win? What do we think?
Ooh, it's definitely gonna be an interesting game. Like on paper, I think Fuji Assassins have a higher overall rank, like in terms of solo queue at least.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's definitely interesting to see if they get nerves or something from actually playing in a CoraL game and it being caster and something. Because I think this is like you said earlier, this is the first game, so it'd be interesting to see how they tackle or handle that thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think sometimes rank doesn't matter, especially in a lower elo. It can be quite even, I guess, across the board, really. Especially around lower gold, high silver. So I think sometimes it can just really depend on, I guess, how much they play ranked and how much they play the game in general, really, and if they practice. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think to that, Zoe?
I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see, right?
Yeah, true.
I know that Q&I have been very strong in the past, and I know that they work well together as a team, so I wouldn't put them under the bus just because Fuji Assassins has a higher overall rank. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens.
Yeah, definitely will be. Sorry, there was a random There's a random shaking on my desk, and I have no idea what it is, and it's terrifying. But I'll find it at some point, I'm sure. Looking like we've got a vote coming in at the moment. There's 5 towards Fuji Assassin and then 4 towards QNI. So it's a pretty even split right now. Oh, it's an even split, so 50-50 so far. So they're still halfway gone on the poll, guys, so don't forget to vote. Looking like we've got 30 people in, so looking like a big game today. People are excited. We do have Paper Squad playing today as well. Versus I believe, I'm not actually sure. Gab, let me know if you know by any chance. I think it's Silver Phoenix. Yeah, Silver Phoenix, but that will be VOD streamed later on in the week, possibly, or depending on how quick it goes tonight. But yeah, as soon as we can VOD stream that, we'll get into it. But in the meantime, we can have a little talk about the teams. Have any of you guys done any scouting? Any potential things you see coming out? Anything you hope for?
Ooh, there's definitely a lot of interesting stuff. I know QNI the GOAT is a big like Nocturne, Sejuani and Volibear player. Those can all be like pretty annoying stuff to deal with. So it'll be interesting to see like if they decide to target ban, like what Fuji Assassins decides to target ban. We also have Dar who's playing top lane as well, I know, and Kakashi has like shit ton of master points on Morgana. So interesting to see what they do there.
Yeah.
But on the other side as well, we have I believe it's like 74-75% win rate on a Viego as well on Fuji Assassin. So, and like a good Yasuo player and Shaco player as well, so definitely like interesting to see where the teams decide to ban and what to decide to prio pick.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, like you mentioned, like Volibear especially can be a champ that can be flexed quite across the board as well, especially in top and jungle, and he just can be oppressive, especially with the opportunity to dive with the ultimate, obviously disabling towers. So it'd be interesting to see whether that gets banned out or whether that gets played. Oh, you got Mike's kind of quiet. Get everything Max and still struggling to follow the commentary. Okay, if that's a recurring problem for everyone, just please let me know and I'll try get it sorted now. I'll just turn these guys up a little bit, see if that helps. I'll turn myself up as well. Is that a bit better by any chance? Are we finding it a bit easier to hear everyone? Is that too loud? Please let me know if that's okay. Sorry, first time streaming, trying to get it right.
As the poll just done as well, we actually have a straight 50-50
50-50 split. So obviously people are a bit cautious and a bit optimistic for both teams, really. Not really sure who's going to win here. Which is fair to say, I think. Like, especially considering no one really knows. Either side may know previous players from previous splits in CoraL. So yeah, interesting. It should be good. We should hopefully be getting into the game soon. We are just waiting on QNI's mid laner. Should be back as quick as he can. But thank you to Fuji Assassin for being so patient with that. It's really appreciated. And yeah, I will set up the draft in the meantime while we wait. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Wicked, thank you. I love the Thanos reference. Amazing. As a Marvel fan, I appreciate you. Sorry to misspelling your team then. It was I had a lot to design and I was very tired. So apologies for that. It was just a typo. I did it as quick as I could. But as Zoe said, it's never ever a CoraL stream if it's not scuffed right.
I mean, we're just trying to match that NA production value.
I think we already are, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's
I think
pretty
we're
close.
really doing a good job there. If nothing else, we at least got the production value the same.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't think we'll ever quite meet like LPL, but you know, one day we can dream, hey? We can dream.
That is the hope. Big hope.
We can dream. Sorry about Kakashi. Honestly, don't worry about it. It's fine. You can't help it. I personally understand that trains are an absolute nightmare. So it's going to be a Scottish Rail difference here. But yeah, it's good to see new people joining the community, joining along. Seems like everyone's getting on really well, which is amazing to see. LEC streaming now, watch CoraL League. That's what we like to see. See, we get the loyalty fans, and I think that's what matters, right? We get
people really realize soon that CoraL is where the real pros are, not the LEC. So they're gonna start migrating over soon.
Is that what you're calling yourself now? So you're calling yourself a pro?
Yep. I mean, ever since you made money from playing Clash Royale,
yeah.
But like, you've technically been making money from playing a game, which technically makes you a semi-professional player.
Right. It seems like you've had a lot of thought process into this.
This is a lot of technicalities. I'm just saying. Like,
he's like, right, can I write pro player on a dating website? Like,
he put that shit on his resume.
See, it doesn't matter if you actually got paid. It's just that there's on paper that you should have been paid, so you can just use it.
Oh yeah.
So it's fine.
I mean, so like, you're in a transitioning to be a pro player then, since you haven't got your first paycheck yet, or?
Nah, you know, I need to focus on the bigger things in life. I can't be a pro player yet, but.
Right, is that it?
Oh,
right, that's
that is true. You know, you got to finish your education and shit, you know.
You're the kind of guy that says he's got an hour to the knee, realistically. Seems like you got a couple of fanboys as well in the chat as well. I
mean, they're talking about the champion, not me. So
I don't know. O'Neil was pretty happy for you, but O'Neil just is a simp, realistically. But we love him. We love him to pieces.
I mean, he needs to simp because there's a lot more people simping for him, so he needs to try to even it out a bit.
Is that it?
Yeah. I don't see my name in Discord even.
Yeah, the side piece. We love to see it.
Have you seen O'Neil in a suit? You're gonna be simping for him after that as well.
Should be the face of CoraL, realistically.
Yeah. I mean, it is a reason why it's the face of or poster boy of Gun.
It could be the reasoning. We're hopefully getting started soon, guys. Should hopefully be Kakashi should be back real soon. In the meantime, I shall send you your draft links, and we'll get started. And then send it to the goat. Yours. Right, you've got your draft links now. I'll send it to you guys as well. Oh, you should have the spec link anyway from the chat. Have you got it? All right. Let me know if you guys got any problems with the draft link. Let me know if you guys got any problem. And we'll get it sorted. But yeah, how do you think your games are going so far, guys? You played your first game yet, as girl?
I wasn't there, and yeah.
The first game was an absolute disaster.
Yeah, definitely some points to improve on, or is it just one of those games?
It was one of those games. We have a gimmick every season, and our gimmick this season is we just random champions. And then we just put ourselves in lanes where those champions are good. And we would have lost both games if not for the enemy top laner DCing.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate. Just so.
I mean, I guess a point to improve on this is like having me in there. So you know.
Yeah, actually having a full team.
I think you're definitely the reason they lost, Zab. Like you not being there is just.
Oh damn! I haven't thought about that. I'm sorry, boys.
God, you just a morale boost for the whole team. That's all it is.
Oh yeah. At least we can say that I am.
Let me know, guys, what you think in the chat as well to the random updates we're doing to the stream. I'm trying to design random graphics and stuff, and just to update the stream, the little slideshow border as well. I just made in like half an hour today, as quick as I could. So improvements are coming as we go along. But yeah, let me know what you think to them. Got the slideshows to design too. So yeah, that's why I keep saying if there's a couple of like typos, it's on me. You can flame me if you like. Hopefully get an update on where Kakashi's going to be. Do we know how long he's going to be? Hampy doesn't sound like he's dying today. Not as much, no. Just a little bit on the inside.
Oh.
We can all flame Hampy.
Can
That's
I
what
flame
we're here
Hampy?
for, isn't it?
No! Right, Loza, this is not fair. Okay. You don't get to flame me.
Oh, that's Lossa.
Yeah. Yes, it's Loza.
No.
Yeah. She, thanks. You'll hear me cough a couple of times, and this is why Zoe's doing the play-by-play, see? Just so I can die.
It would definitely be sexy to just hear a play-by-play and then a cough like straight in the middle, or like keep trying to power through.
I don't think doing a team fight and talking play-by-play like I'm a freak or something, like he's going to work too well when I'm coughing down the microphone.
Someone, just for the sake of it, has to play Singed so that you're just cosplaying whoever is running in the poison. Whenever we're coughing.
Yeah.
I'm
We should just clip it and like play it over and over again whenever Sin chooses poison.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna cough forever, you know. Like, I will get better. I hope anyway. I've been sick for like 6 days though, so it's not going well. I've been sick since like Sunday night, so it's not going well. It's not the Rona though, so that's the main thing. People simping for Lauren's name, which is good. It's when she was the Leona player. She raised herself on.
I just realized that it's the dawn has arrived.
Yeah. She was very happy when she came up with that and told me. Hey, I haven't been coughing in your face all week. Flash on D or flash on F? I don't know, that could be a pretty good poll. Gab, do you want a poll in the meantime? See how you feel to that one? I think it could be a pretty good poll if you could get that sorted for us. I mean, personally, I'm a flash on F man, you know, F for flash. Anything else
But
is
the
wrong.
thing is as well that it's D for dash and then it's F for fire because you have ignite on
No,
F.
no. But like, it's no, because it's not a dash. The flash isn't
But
a
it is
dash.
a dash.
No, but it's not because you physically flash.
Which means like take off the camera.
I actually read a study on this somewhere.
You
where
read a study on if League has a flash on F or D.
Not like why some people prefer it differently.
Is this like someone's master's degree, like thesis?
Almost. But it has to do with your finger placement a lot of the time.
Oh, cool.
Like which fingers you have on which buttons for your Q, W, E, R, T, Y.
Mm-hmm.
So like some people are weird and they play with their pinky on Q so they can hold their fingers on W, E, and R all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're more likely to have flash on F because your pointer finger is going to be right on top of F.
See, I feel like we're on like a sitcom of like Zoe's facts.
I mean, it makes sense. So like,
No,
if
it
you
does.
try to
It
have
truly
your
does
pinky
make
on your
sense. Yeah.
Q,
Yeah.
like
definitely
if you
does.
try to like use the finger you have on your R like to D.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's too slow. You like need to flash quickly when you first flash.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're getting into draft though now, which is amazing. So I'll switch over.
Oh.
And we can get straight into it.
Oh, the Sejuani band coming out first from Fuji.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
That
mean,
was an
from
instant
Fuji
ban.
Assassin.
yeah, I mean, I think it was you, Zab, that said about how Zoe was a pick that I like to play in the jungle.
Yeah.
So Chuania, sorry. So like, interesting one. And we do see the Orianna being banned out as well for Fuji Assassins. Obviously, Orianna being a pick that can be blind picked very well in the mid lane, and we do see a Shaco and a Viego.
I was actually gonna see a Yasuo banner on Q&I side. Wouldn't surprise me if that was gonna come out. Maybe they don't even fear the Yasuo that much.
Maybe so. We do see
the
Silas
Silas.
being hovered though, and the Silas will be banned away. Be interested to see what the pick here. Obviously, Zoe, you're a Shaco player yourself, so see that one banned out might hurt a little bit for you. Not too sure.
It hurts my heart.
Shaco obviously can be flexed across the board, unless you pick quad and can play it top. More than likely, you're going to be playing it jungle or support. But speaking of support, see the Thresh locked in instantly. Thresh being very good into quite a fair few matchups and being able to pair with anything. But to counter that, we do see a Morgana being picked.
Could also be a Morgana flex pick.
It could be. You're
It's gonna
completely
go
right, yeah.
mid.
But with the Volibear being just locked in, it could be confirming that to the bot lane, you would assume. But that being said, could still be a Volibear top and a Morgana jungle. But
I
with
think
the
it's probably
history-
gonna be. I think it's probably gonna be a Volibear top for Goat, and Kakashi gonna whip out the Morgana. I think.
Yeah, Kakashi has been playing a lot of Morgana mid, according to Sab's fabulous pre-game scouting.
Like what 600 something master points or something, I think. But Morgana is also a good pick into Threshold, just like the Nai.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Got
sure.
the Nai it as well.
We do see a Zac
With the
being locked
Zac,
in.
It's looking like a heavy gank and jungler from Fuji Assassin.
Definitely, and I suppose with the Rise ultimate, if this gets locked in here, it can help. But
Oh,
the issue with the Rise is you kind of almost locking yourself into a little bit of split pushing throughout the game. Rise being obviously notoriously good for clearing waves and scaling mounts at a late game. But as we say that, we see a Tristana getting locked in. Obviously, a very strong ADC right now and quite a safe pick as well with a W. With the Morgana as well. It should be a pretty free kill if the bind lands and you're level 6 at that point. We'll get to second phase of bans here. See what Fuji Assassin's ban. Is there anything you guys expect to be banned here?
I'm maybe expecting something from the top lane to be banned from Fuji Assassin side.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, we have a set ban coming out though. Seems like both teams are probing to get a good pick for the top laner.
Yeah.
Good counter pick.
Q and I probably looking to counter pick here, being on the red side. More than likely leaving to last, quite a common thing. We do see an Alistair, so maybe assuming that Morgana is still in the jungle. Got to bear in mind it can be flex still. The Aurelia being banned out. Aurelia, I found out today, the most commonly played top laner in Korea right now. Yep. But Aurelia notably getting a lot of changes recently and being very strong if played correctly. We see a Sion ban being hovered here as well. Sion being an absolute unit. If you can keep yourself steady for the early game and get your stats up, and can be quite difficult to kill.
Definitely. I would imagine Q&I picking out. There it is, a support. So it is Morgana mid lane then.
Yeah, this confronts a Morgana mid lane, and the lane of Tristana Braum also able to be a very oppressive lane. As soon as Braum hits that Q, and Tristana can jump in to follow up, so it's going to be interesting to see what ADC Fuji Assassin decide to pick into this.
Definitely, I would actually like maybe an Astral just to like keep him safe. Might be a pick.
And Ezreal could be a good shout here for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Mundo coming out.
See a Mundo being locked in. I suppose Mundo with recent changes, quite a safe blind pick if you wanted to lock something in top lane, especially with the passive as well. And I suppose it makes sense with the Morgana bind as well. Having the Mundo passive just prevents him from being CC'd realistically, because with a Mundo you generally find you fight through him or round him in team fights because he can just be a nuisance. So you would expect to see an Ezreal.
Oh, Ezreal, yeah.
Correct. Well done on the prediction there, Zab. I mean, it makes sense, right? You said it yourself. And we see a Darius locked in as well. So insta-lock there. I suppose it helps kill the Mundo once he's procced his ult if you can get the 5 stacks on the bleed. But what do you guys think to that draft? Who do you think's won that in that state?
Ooh, I think it really depends on like how both team are able to play it. Like for Fuji Assassin, like they have a lot of tools to engage. They have the Rise ultimate, they have Zack jumping in. Thresh can even like find a guard hook on like Tristana or something, and you have the Mundo just like straight face, like running it into them. But it's also gonna be really hard to actually like be able to engage on them because of the Morgana, the Tristana ult, the Braum disengage as well. Like they have really strong tools to like kite backwards and let Darius get his passive stacks up in a fight and let Tristana like set up for the recess on W as well.
Definitely, 100%. What do you think to it, Zoe? You got any opinions on these drafts?
I feel like Q and I have a very solid front to back team fights comp, where they just play to keep Tristana safe, and Tristana's gonna wreak havoc on the enemy team. They're lacking. Oh no, the Morgana's mid, so they even have an AP threat as well. What I feel about Fuji Assassin's comp is that they're a little bit all over the place. Their champions want to do different things, where Zac want to jump in and dive the enemy backline, and their damage dealing champions are more on the safe side. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that out, but it can definitely be a devastating combo.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like you mentioned, kind of a bit of anti-synergy there. Rise and Ezreal being very good in kiting away from the opposing team. So it's a bit of anti-synergy, but it can work. They've definitely got the opportunity to make picks in this comp with a Thresh and then the Rise route as well. And if you decides to opt for Everfrost. We aren't doing the Solari game after this, more than likely. It will probably be casted tomorrow or later in the week. Apologies for that. But yeah, we're just getting in. We're in the lobby now, just people locking in the champs, making the bans. So yeah, definitely one that's going to be interesting to watch. As we saw the poll earlier, it was 8-8, so split currently. To see, no one really understands how this is going to go right now. So got a Q&I fan. So yeah. Have you guys got any predictions? Anyone you think's gonna win? You got any predictions, Zab?
I think Q and I, if they can actually like finish in mid game, they should have this in the box. But the later game drags on, the more time this tries, and Ezreal have to get online with a tanky front line like Mundo and Zac and Treasure, like bail them out if they ever get caught.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think it really depends on like how late this game is gonna go.
Yeah, because the Rise as well, when the Rise gets online, a couple of items can be a problem. How do you think, Zoe, how do you think they could shut out Fuji Assassins from building into this late game? What do you think Q and I should do here?
I mean, you have a very interactive both bot and top side of the map, because both Braum and Darius and Morgana can be very active and help with CCing the enemy jungler for fights. So I just want to see early aggression jungling from the side of Q&I to shut down the Zac before he can impact the map.
Yeah, I think in terms of clear, I think it should be pretty even. Zac does have a rather quick clear at the moment with a buff to his W in a couple of patches recently. The extra double damage to the camps. So I do think that it should be a pretty close clear, but that being said, you'd probably expect to see maybe an invader, so top should probably get prior with it being a Darius, right? So
yeah,
not really sure how it's going to play out in the bot lane, but it is an aggressive lane with the Tristana and Braum, so you probably see priority there as well. So I would expect to see maybe an invade or so. Not sure how the level 1 plays out here. You guys got any opinions on how they should set up?
I think Q&I definitely has a stronger level 1. They could definitely outthrow and engage, because there's not many champions on Fuji Assassin's side that's actually a champion level 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do have the Morgana bind, they have the Braum passive. Tristana can go E for extra damage on bomb once they actually like lock down.
Issue with that is if the Morg decides to opt for Q, there could be a counter invade because you don't have the safety net of the Black Shield, right?
Yeah, it could be.
So it could be difficult there, and if Morg opts to take Black Shield at level 1, then it could cause problems.
I think she just like fucks her lane though if she take Black Shield level 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, really would. So maybe you could see an invade from Fuji Assassin simply just to get that, bait that out. Because if you bait that out, it definitely improves your mid lane, your early game there, and allows you to scale a bit better into the late game. The top lane matchup, however, let's talk a little bit about that. Do you guys have any ideas on how you think this will play out? What you think? How do you think Darius does into this Mundo?
I have never played top in my life, so I'm gonna be reckless to
It is a good question. Like Darius is a really like oppressive laner, but Mundo now has sold without like any resources, and his Q scaling on like so like current max health or something. Like he will hurt as well.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with the, I suppose it's all how Darius plays the early game, right? And whether it can create pressure. Maybe we could see a dive from the volley.
Yeah,
with
I
the
definitely
Darius.
would like to see a dive with volley level 6. Just to like sheer power you have just by disabling the turret for so long.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have the ability to siege, right, and dive, especially with the Tristana being able to jump in and out, the Darius, and even the Braum being able to block with his shield, but block any abilities. So you could definitely see more of a dive comp with Q and I here. They definitely have a good team fight.
According to this though, Dr. Mundo wins against Darius, or has a win rate of 58.9.
I suppose
against
it's
Darius.
with the Q. Yeah, someone's just mentioned it in chat. Yeah, the Q. So I guess it's. I mean, I suppose it's all dependent. Like I said, it's just all dependent on how the Darius plays this. If he decides to opt to play safely and whether he gets jungle pressure as well. But we are just about to get into game soon. About 10 seconds in, and we will get straight into game. I will switch over to game 1. As we slowly get in. Oh, hold on a second. Apologies for that, guys.
I think the number one thing for Q&I is just be able to like actually snowball the game before it gets too out of hand.
Definitely going to be the case. And we will get. I guess we can talk in the meantime. Talk about any of the rune choices, any specific summoner spells, anything that takes your interest, or anything away from the norm.
Looks pretty standard to me. The standard win choices, pretty standard. Summoner spell choices as well.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out the fact that the Fuji Assassin's bot lane has Exhaust Ignite as their summoner spells rather than Heal Ignite, as we're seeing from Q&I.
I think Forsaken might be ready for Bacon to actually jump on him, like Trisanos usually like to do.
Yeah, one thing I've just noticed, as someone just mentioned in chat, actually, the aftershock on Thresh. Is that quite a common thing, or I don't really, Zoe, you would probably know?
I mean, the Guardian is better if you're playing protect the AD carry like Guardian Thresh. But if you're just looking to go in and you're looking to get a more of an advantage in the early game, then Aftershock is going to make you tankier.
Yeah.
We do actually have Fuji Assassins looking for a possible invader, but some to backing off. I think both teams are actually looking for an invade.
Looking like they might just drop a ward on it maybe as the back off. Looking like a counter engage from Q&I though.
Q&I might be able to catch Fuji Assassins on the bot lane here as they return to the red buff. Because Fuji Assassins just walked up to get that ward on the opposing red buff. But three people are going to walk into the jungle here as Q&I are just waiting in this brush. But the Thresh, having a giant presence of mind, decided to ward that brush. So now Fuji Assassins know that Q&I are in here, but they're still looking for something. The Morgana bind goes out, swings wide, unfortunately, but Q&I are deciding to take this red buff away from Fuji Assassins.
I think that was really well played by the Thresh. We do see a TP though coming out from the Darius. Maybe, I feel like the Darius didn't even have to be there, right?
No, and Tristan started to rocket jump as well to just like get safely over.
I suppose it makes sense. I mean, the tri-brush, if you don't take jumping, you walk the whole way around, you definitely missed the first 3. Hasn't missed any at the moment, so if you miss the first 3, the jungle pressure is just going to be so much difficult. Well, the lane pressure can be so much harder for you.
Also see the Braum missing basically the entire first wave of minions here, so they're going to be behind in this lane where they desperately need to come out ahead to start snowballing.
It seems like they're actually looking for... Oh, here comes
And we see the level 2 from the side of Fuji Assassin's Thresh going in for the flay, also hitting the flash with the hook, going in, auto-attacking away, but... And the Ezreal eats in, hits with that last auto-attack, and manages to get the first blood.
That flash hook was amazing.
Yeah, I just think they didn't respect the level 2 power spike both lanes have.
That's
like,
exactly
yes,
it.
you have a strong kill limit that doesn't mean jack shit if you can't like hit level 2 first.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, as soon as you know you're not going to get level 2 first, surely you just back off, resetting the tower. But we've seen a hook hit.
But another hook from the Thresh. Sadly, tanks 2 tower shots, and now we see the Volibear from Q&I coming for a gank here. But the Thresh flashed it away. The Volibear is still going in on the Ezreal, but decides to back off in the end.
Still a pretty good thing to get the flash out here, don't you think, Zab?
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna make killing Ezreal easier, but he's gonna hit level 3 as well, so you know it's gonna be definitely hard to kill him anyways, especially with the Thresh in lane as well.
Yeah, 100%.
I just think like they might have committed too much to the red level 1, because like Zac got full clear topside jungle, and Darius wastes his TP, Braum missed the whole first wave, and Chishan needs to start the E, which really like limits her ability to actually take control over the minion wave to start it to get the level 2.
I suppose with having the TP advantage in the top lane as well, you maybe expect to see a early dragon coming out here from Q&I. Sorry, from Fuji Assassins, apologies.
That's what an engagement in the top lane here. The Zac going in, the Darius flashing away, but the Zac manages to get the Q stun. And they pick up the kill on the Darius.
That's huge as well without the Darius TP.
Yeah, he's going to lose so much here.
Cannon wave as well, unfortunately for him, which is super unfortunate. But really nice gank from Dandy there. Noticing that the Darius is a bit too stepped up with that vision. So really well played, and as you mentioned, that's going to be super difficult for this Darius here. Looking like Mundo is taking advantage of this counter pick here and playing it really, really well. We do see Drake spawning in about 30 seconds though. Zac looks like he's pathing towards the bot side. Expect to see maybe a reset here and head towards that bot side to secure this Drake.
The Volibear is looking for a gank on the Mundo here in the top side. The Odd My Way ping is coming out. The Mundo is trying to go to his tower as he pleases here, but the Volibear jumps in, is getting pulled by the Darius, and there's just no way to go for the return kill on top lane.
Yeah, I think it was a really, really nice play, and I think it just helps him back into the game a little bit, gets that return kill, just tells Fuji Assassin that you're going to get killed, but so are we. And I think it creates more pressure, and it forces the Mundo TP as well, which is absolutely fantastic. What do you think to that play, Zab?
It definitely does. The Mundo need to push out the lane to like actually get the advantage. He wasn't able to push it quick enough, so he could just like get a quick, easy return gank. That also made it so the Mundo need to waste the TP to get up there, so TP advantage is also gone.
Oh, but here we have 4 people moving onto this Morgana in the jungle. She's getting stunned, she's getting slowed, but she manages to get up with the help of the blast cone.
We do see Raju's flash there, though. So
we did, yeah.
Maybe a little bit unnecessary to use the flash there. Maybe a bit just overcommitting a little bit. We do see a bot lane fight, though.
Yeah, we're having a skirmish here in the jungle, in the river. The Thresh lantering the Ezreal in to get a better position in the fight, but the Tristana's going down. The Zac is also manages to flash out. The Braum is getting dangerously low, getting finished off by the Ezreal. And now the Volibear is manages to get out with the Black Shield, but now Morgana is in dangerous territory. The Thresh trying to superhero that play, but Morgana gets away with the plant. But now there's still 4 people around her. And the hook connects, and there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, it was doomed, unfortunately. But that is very, very well played from Fuji Assassins there. Showing that they mean business in CoraL on their debut. The Ezreal being 4-0 at this stage. I've already picked up the tier as well. So clearly going to be a big threat. What do you think to that fight, Zab?
Oh, this Ezreal is already sitting on 3.2k gold.
Yeah, it's a lot of
That's
gold to
gonna be
sit on.
massive, especially for a hard scaler like Ezreal as well.
Yeah, 100%.
That's almost like a wet dream for every ADC player.
Yeah,
With 4-0 at 7 minutes.
you're loving every second of it, aren't you, Zab?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm usually like 004 at 7 minutes.
And I'm the one being 4-0, by the way.
Definitely. We do see Mundo engaging on Darius though, looking to jump in straight away.
But Darius just casually walks it out with his basketball still in hand.
Yeah,
Just dribbling
maybe
around
just
the court. But here comes the Thresh all the way from bot lane, chilling in the brush. But he's gonna meet Volibear in this brush here, getting stunned. The Volibear's on the chase. There's also a fight in the top lane. The Lantern coming out to pull the Mundo in, trying to create a 2v1 situation, but they just walk out here. The Darius is still hungry for blood. No, he was hungry for berries. Never mind.
hungry for berries. I like that one. That's really clever. We do see Mundo using ult there, just maybe underestimating his damage, underestimating the ability to take out the Darius there. It was a nice roam idea from Thresh, but fantastically matched by the GOAT. Realising that there's definitely pressure being created in that top lane, and we see Thresh roaming back down to the bot lane.
Most of the gold if is actually just on between Ezreal and Tristana. Like in top lane, Mundo is sitting on like a roughly 200-300 gold lead. Zac is actually like behind a little bit of gold. There is like roughly a 300 gold difference between Ryze and Morgana as well in Ryze's favor. But there's a whopping 3-4k gold difference between Ezreal and Tristana.
Yeah, this Ezreal's definitely getting fed here. We do see an overall 2k difference against both teams here. Thresh is clearing out vision for this Drake. You would expect to see Fuji Assassins look to get this at some point soon, having that lead. However, Zac is top lane, and I don't know whether Q and I are aware of this, or whether they just think they can just risk it anyway. So I think it's going to be an interesting one to see. Apologies if you heard the clash thing in the background there. But as we say about the Drake, Volibear is just going to take out the ward and pink it and look to farm his jungler again. But we do see Zac top lane, Zoe.
Yeah, but I can't see what's happening.
Direct to camera.
Yeah, direct to camera is on the bot side, but now I'm seeing what's happening on the top side. But Darius manages to back down safely into the turret. My directed camera was more interested in the bot lane fight.
Yeah, same for everyone. Unfortunately, direct to camera doing us the justice there. But as we say that, as expected, you would see Q and I expect to pick up the Drake here, and it's exactly what they do. Noticing the Zac is top side, and they can't contest this right yet. So a nice little play to get them slightly back in. However, as we mentioned in the pre-game, it could be a difficult one. This side of Fuji hasn't scaled very, very well. The Rise is getting his farm up now slowly, taking up this Rift Herald with this Zac, and this Ezreal is rather far ahead here, as I rightly mentioned, 4-0, and probably looking to pick up his first item soon.
Oh, but a hook coming in from the Thresh. The Braum designed to ult, has a good shield up in front of the Tristana, jumps back. The Tristana is dangerously low. The Ezreal ease in, manages to pick up the kill. The Lantern going down, and Ezreal retreating on top of that to safety. Another kill for the Ezreal. This guy is getting dangerous now.
So strong.
They have the power of the exhaust again, like Tristana couldn't do any damage to them.
Yeah, it's definitely a good option
to
to take that, right? I mean, it's clearly showing. And we do see Ezreal completing that Divine Sunder 11 minutes in. That is dangerous, and it's going to take some killing. The Thresh playing really well though, to peel off, and also just ensure that this Braum can't get his passive off on this Ezreal. And Tristana can't do the damage. Unfortunately, we did see a nice Braum shield, as Zoe rightly mentioned. But, yep, Thresh is landing some very clean hooks in this game. And he's definitely showing why it's definitely a pick that they need to be feared of. So, how would you expect Q and I to get back into this game? What do you think they should do?
I think the owners just need to look for a pick somewhere.
But we see the Zac going. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we see Zac going in the bot lane. The Flay landing from the Thresh. But there's a teleport coming in now as well as Braum dives to the Zac passive. Kakashi being dangerous here, but hits the ult, manages to stay safe. There's 2 more teleports going in here. As we see Fuji Assassins going very low. They're very low, all of them, but the Darius also just dying almost instantly from the combined damage of the Fuji Assassins. And now we have Mundo going where he pleases, and he wants to go on top of this Morgana, getting the double kill, but the Thresh going for the hook, not quite hitting on the Tristana.
Is this the LEC or is this CoraL? Really well played from Fuji Assassins there, matching the TPs, making sure that they're telling Q and I, nope, not today, we're taking this game, we're showing what we mean, and it's fantastically played. But as we say that, Q and I going for another kill.
Oh, they're down in the turret. Braum hitting a good ult to knock up both players. But Zac is on the Tristana. But what's going to happen? Tristana jumps in, gets the passive from the Zac. Braum is there to assist, stand behind Braum to take down this blobs, and Q&I gets a kill on the Zac.
Overcommitting there. What do you think to that one, Zab? Just played a bit too much?
Oh, they're definitely, you can just see Fuji Assassin just wanting to take everything they can, and maybe overestimating or underestimating the damage of that is just Tristan was able to actually pull out with the Braum passive as well.
Yeah, I mean, as you briefly mentioned before we saw that skirmish, I think Q and I just need to make those picks, like we saw on the Zac there. Wait for Fuji Assassin to make mistakes, because as we see, there are some to be made, and take advantage of them. Take advantage of the summoner spells. Take advantage of the opportunities to get the farm and the plates wherever you can. And I think at this stage, it's becoming an increasing problem every time they try to team fight. So it's going to be good to see how this plays out, but I am really appreciating the warding this Thresh is clearing up and the vision he's actually managing to get this game.
I mean, Gunnar definitely has a strong team as well to like make some picks with the Volibear, Morgana, the Braum, the Darius and Tristan to follow up as well and disengage if they decide that they don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's definitely not over yet for Gunnar.
No, not all. I'm intrigued to see what this Mundo locks in as an item. Picking up the Iron Spike Whip. Maybe a God Rinker here? I don't really know what else is it building to.
We're seeing Thresh going in for a hook here, playing very aggressively, hitting the hook on the Braum. The flay goes down. About a quarter of the health gone. Braum is getting tankier at this point.
Has this Thresh missed the hook yet?
Yeah, he sets some hooks, sadly. Yeah.
Oh, it's not Mad Life, unfortunately. But
no, it's not Mad Life, but it's close. But as we see a fight here going on, Q and I are 4 people near this dragon. The bot lane of Fuji Assassins are in trouble here, but the Ryze is coming down to assist. We're about to see some fancy fighting here. The Thresh playing very aggressively, the Zac jumping in, with the hook connecting to the Braum. The Braum goes down, the Zac is in the middle of everyone, the Volibear dunking back, and the Morgana hitting a 3-man ult here. Now they all manage to go away. The Golden goes down, and Morgana goes down, but the Mundo is on this chase, chasing down this bear, hitting 1 briefcase. And the Ezreal just hits his mystic shot for the kill.
That is a dead
The Thresh is still out for blood, but Tristana is... Oh, but he hits the hook to Tristana, and he interrupts the jump with the flay. And Ezreal picks up the kill.
Mad Life, eat your heart out. Really well played there by the Thresh. A little bit maybe too bloodthirsty, some would say, but fantastically played to interrupt that W there. And it's just not looking good for Q and I here. Fuji Assassin taking every advantage they've got. Definitely playing to their comp advantage. We mentioned a bit of anti-synergy, but they're telling us, nope, casters, you are wrong. We are playing this really well, and we're making sure this Ezreal will definitely carry us into victory.
Actually, it's the God Drinker as well for Mundo coming out, which is just gonna make him so obnoxious to deal with in terms of the like hectic 5v5 team fights.
He's just not gonna die.
Because like realistically, you should have like the Darius, the Volibear, the Karma, and the Braum like around you, so getting those 4 and hitting them with a Gore Drink when you're low health. Oh, just gonna be too much healing.
It's sad as well because Q and I is playing they're playing so proactively. They're trying to make plays, but every single time, Fuji Assassins, they're just there to shut it down.
Yeah, it really is becoming really difficult. Like you said, every time they go to make a pick, which is exactly what they need. Fuji Assassins are just there. If it's not the Ryze, it's the Mundo. If it's not that, the Zac's there to cover him. And I got to admit, it's just really good team play. And I think Q and I are just trying too much at this point, trying to just make something happen. But you've got to ask, is it a little too late, Zab?
Oh, definitely isn't.
There's
They can
always
still
time.
somehow like manage to pull something out.
As we're seeing a 2v2 up here in this top lane, the Zac going in, hitting the ultimate, the Darius getting dangerous load, the Mundo flashing after him under the turret, the Volibear dunking on top of him, the Mundo going down with a fat shutdown to go with it. The Morgana is still looking for this flashing the threshold, but getting hit by the Saki. The Volibear is still in as well, the Darius going in, but the Fuji assassins are just too strong at this point. Gives a kill to the Thresh, drops the what's it called, Shelly, to take down the turret.
The Darius dying mid-dunk. Michael Jordan, you are not getting your dunk today, he says, and drops it on him as he just doesn't manage to get that ult off. But Mundo did slightly overcommit, but looking like Q and I just trying to get something out of this, trying to get this bot lane tower. But looking like Ezreal might 2v1 here.
Ezreal going in, getting knocked up by the Braum, but manages to take them to this Tristana. The Braum flashed in place, I think, but auto attacks Ezreal for the kill.
Yeah, I mean, the only unfortunate side there is that the Braum picks up the 1,000 gold shutdown on this Ezreal, and you've got to ask, what is he going to be able to do with that? So, a bit of an NA flash, yeah. It's a good one, but I think it may be a bit of a panic flash, you never know. I guess we'll find out at some point. But yeah, I'm not really sure how you see Q and I get back into this game here. What do you expect him to do here, Zab?
I mean, just keep like going like you managed to do there, picking up the Ezreal for a kill. Yes, it went over to Braum, but at least you managed to stop him a little bit, and still a kill on Ezreal. It's still a 1-for-1 with a huge shutdown on Ezreal.
True, and as we mentioned,
High sad it didn't go over to Tristana, but yeah.
We've got the tower still, so that's gold into Tristana's pocket as well. We do see Ezreal picking up this red buff though, and looking to just create more and more pressure, just be able to kite the enemy team out here. So I suppose if they get onto this Ezreal and they kill this Ezreal, it could be an entirely different game, right?
Yeah, like just creating those small picks, like the fighter on top lane as well. When they got the Mundo, they tried to went for more, but when they killed the Mundo, it was a 1-for-0. So could have just gotten that and gotten out, and slowly but surely catching up in the game.
Yeah, we
As we're seeing them hovering here in the river. Santa Claus and his polar bear friend going in, trying to put pressure on the enemy team, but Volibear dunking on your boy Dandy here. Is he gonna get out? He gets put in the Zac passive. Q and I trying to get the Zac down here, but the Thresh hook connecting to the Darius. The Darius and dunks on the Rise, doing a bit of an alley-oop there with the Thresh. But the Ezreal just going in, hitting, doing so much damage to the Morgana. But the red buff not quite finishing it off as Q and I are on the retreat here.
Really well played. Finally, Zab picked something up as you wanted. They finally made the picks and finally got out. Really well played.
Definitely, I mean, Mundo is just casually just pushing top lane, like it's no one's business. It was definitely good there.
Yeah, managed to get something out of it at least, and Q and I are looking to get this Drake here, looking to get something back, and will be the second Drake for them. So it is a nice little Cloud Soul as well. Looking like Rise going to TP in there. Look for an engage, Zoe.
There's only Ezreal here ready to contest it, but the Rise TP a little bit too late, unfortunately. Q and I are going to secure that Drake and then move out safely through the jungle, but it was a brave play.
Definitely.
Just a few seconds too late, sadly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but the Zoe, sorry, God, the Mundo did pick up a few towers there, just trying to get something off of that play. I think we did see Rise try ulting the Zac blobs out. Not seen that before, and I didn't know if that would work, but interesting interaction to see whether it did. Unfortunately, it didn't. Take a look at the gold here as well, and we do see Fuji Assassins leading by 7,000 gold here, and 6k, and it's more so in this Ezreal. The Ezreal is 3,000 gold ahead of this Tristana and becoming an increasing problem. There is a 1.5k lead in the top lane as well, notably, and it's causing so many problems. But it's looking like a bit of a support rise here as well, right? 0, 1, and 9. The assist king.
Definitely.
I mean, he just realizes that Ezreal is the one they need kills on to 1v9 the game, and he's just gonna come there after 40 minutes of farm and just 1v9 anyways. That's a rise.
Yeah, we're looking to see an engager on this Morgana.
Oh, the Morgana out of position here, but manages to flash out with the black shield and should be able to make it out safely with the support of his bot lane. Fuji assassins are moved after them for a bit, but now they're pinging the Baron.
Yeah, I've got to admit that Braum is doing his best job. Salty Snorlax here doing his very best job to peel off this any attack. They're starting it up. No fear. No fear at all, Fuji Assassins. Looking like Q and I are just going to give this up. Maybe you see it as seal from the goat here. He does have Smite up, but he may just be a little too late.
Q and I just have no vision on this, so they're going in blind here, but the Volibear dunking into the enemy backline, and the Sag trying to keep the enemy backline away here. Volibear going down to the Ezreal. The Braum trying to ult, but stands in the front of his team here with the big shield. And we have a 2-for-1 with the Baron to Fuji Assassins.
Yeah, really well played. What do you think to that one, Zab? Break it down for us.
Yeah, we're definitely coming up on. You can definitely see the difference in the power that Fuji Assassins has on the Ezreal compared to Tristana. Because Tristana was just absolutely wailing at that sack for like God knows how long, compared to the Trundle and Darius who died quite quickly. But I also want to notice that they need to rise ultimate away from the fight, making me think like they weren't confident they were actually going to be able to win that fight. Also, just like something to keep in mind.
Yeah, maybe just afraid because they used up quite a lot in that fight, and maybe just not wanting to risk their leads that they picked up, especially when you have the Baron there, right? It may just be safe than sorry just to get out and use your advantages. The Ezreal does have a pretty big shutdown right now as well, so not wanting to give that away. But this Ezreal is 3 items now, picking up that Frozen Heart as well, so this Ezreal is very, very strong and a threat to be dealt with. And looking like Fuji Assassins are maybe looking to make a pick here.
They're finding the Sag jumping in, the Threshold connecting. There's 4 people off Fuji Assassins here in the middle of the enemy jungle. The Ezreal connecting. Another Threshold connecting. It goes in. He hits a flay. Volibear is in trouble here, getting mauled down by this Ezreal. But your boy Dandy is still. He has his arm connected to the Braum, looking to still get that pick. They are backing off now.
Thresh throws out his lantern for the extra soul, says thank you very much, and walks off. I cannot keep making Mad Life references, so please stop hitting hooks. You're doing a very good job there. We see Ezreal just not backing off here, knowing the Zax's by his side and just looking to pick up this tower, create a bit of pressure. But Braum's going to engage anyway.
The Braum is going in, but the Zac is there hitting the double knock-up, and the Ezreal is just obliterating this Q&I bot lane. Very big brain of Zac to hang around there.
There's a TP.
There's a TP, but is the turret going to go down first? Morgana managed to
cancelled?
get there.
Cancelled by the Rise? I think it was.
Right. The Morgana showed up there, but backed off right away.
Oh, geez, got out quick.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be stuck there with this Ezreal and the Zac.
True, very true. We do see Rise just pushing that top wave that whole time. Throughout that whole skirmish, the Rise just created so many problems, just pushing on waves as we predicted he would be doing during these team fights.
We'll see the Ezreal has opted for the Frozen Heart as well and the Divine Sunder, which makes him like extremely tanky for an ADC.
Yeah, definitely going to be a problem.
Yeah, and with his abilities also reducing the cooldown of his other abilities. So that means his like late game is not gonna be basically not have a cooldown at all. Plus he's gonna be tanky, like it's gonna be really hard to be able to kill him the later game goes.
And Fuji Assassins is picking up an uncontested Drake here, which makes it 2-for-2. And I just want to point out as well that we have 22 kills on the board for Fuji Assassins, but here I'm going to interrupt that thought because Ryze is ulting the members of Fuji Assassins in here on top of the Darius. The Darius pulls them in, the Volibear goes in and dunks, and there's just a big clusterfuck in the middle of this team fight now. Ryze going down, Morgana going down, trading kills, but the Darius also going down to the combined powers of Fuji Assassins. The Thresh hitting another hook, the Exhaust going down on the Tristana, has some happy feed, but sadly dies. And there's a pentakill for the Ezreal.
pentakill on his debut for Fuji Assassins, making a very, very, very well played team fight. We started off a bit strange at first, and a bit hopeful for Q&I at one point. Has just turned against it, and you'd expect to see an end here. Fuji Assassins looking to make a statement on their entrance into CoraL here, and you got to admit it's been played very, very well. This Ezreal from the start, from that 4-0, has just caused problems. But they are deciding to back off. Don't want to risk it too much. Would you expect him to end there, Zab? Do you think they could have done?
Definitely. I mean, the goalie, they do, every member has a lot of gold on them, but I still think it would be like probably fine if they just like backed a bit away from turret and took a fight there.
Yeah, definitely could have looked to end there. But I suppose when it's played safe rather than sorry. They will spot the Zabator in this jungle or Q&I, but there's just nothing they can really do. This jungle is not theirs anymore. It does not belong to them, and it is just Fuji Assassin's territory. Now, Q&I are just seeming to team fight, right? And it's just not working out for them, so they're trying to make picks, but you still got to wonder the statement, like, is it just not going to happen for them? I don't know. What do you think you should do in this stage of the game, Zoe?
Right now, they're 14k behind. I don't want to be the negative type here, but probably just start thinking about what they can do better going into game 2. A 14k gold lead is a lot. Fuji Assassins has full control over the map right now.
Yeah, it's difficult to not be negative, but it's always good to take positives, as you mentioned. So sometimes just thinking, okay, what can we do better? What can we change for next games? Anything we can draft to counteract any future comps they may pick. And it's definitely a good way to think here. It looks like Q&I are just slowly bleeding out on this stage, just trying to farm up as much as possible, get as much as they can into Tristana, but matching the Ezrealian farm, beating him just slightly, but Fuji Assassins are just going to be able to pick up this Baron for free, and it's looking like this is Q&I's only chance to maybe get something out of this game and just get at least the Baron, at least a team fight, and they are engaging.
But Q&I are out for blood right now. Braum managing to interrupt the sack engage with his ultimate, but Fuji Assassins are relentless. They're going in, chasing after them. The thresh hook doesn't quite connect. Braum is kind of facing the wrong way with the shield here, but they're backing off, and Fuji Assassins are just starting up this Baron. Q&I looks like they're going to go back in and contest this. They set some vision up in there, but the pit is pinged. The Mundo flashing over the wall, going where it pleases. The Thresh is there with him to support him, hitting the hook, hitting the Flay. The Ezreal also goes over the wall. The Ezreal is in danger here, dying to the Morgana W. But another Thresh hook connects, the Flay connects, and the Morgana goes down.
Even when the Ezreal dies, it's still not enough, and this will be the end. The TP from the Rise, the TP from the jumping from the Mundo, and the Baron will get picked up. Don't even need it here, and that will be game 1 to Fuji Assassins, showing they mean business on the debut to CoraL.
Damn. Well,
Yeah,
at least
really
I got
well
that through in
played
the end,
there.
though, so you know. It's a bit of
Yeah,
a moral
definitely.
boost, a moral victory.
Yeah, we
Might
do
have gone 19-2, but you got him 2 times.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Can have a look at the differences here for all you stat boys who love the stats, and we do see the 35,000 damage from this Ezreal. The Mundo are doing 25k as well. Look at the graph, and you do see the difference here, and this Ezreal is causing so many problems in this game. And really, you'd expect to see that banned out in the next game. Would you not expect that?
Definitely.
Is there anything you expect Q&I to do differently here for this next game? Do you think they need to draft a bit differently? Anything you definitely think needs banning? For me, the Thresh and the Ezreal definitely need banning.
I would just say camp bot side, to be honest. Just like to shut that ADC down as much as you possibly can.
Definitely really well played. The Thresh doing a lot as well. Been able to definitely get advantages and definitely made some very, very, very good hooks in that game. And soon we will get into game 2. So we'll grab a drink, quick toilet break, and we will let our casters have a quick break before we get into game 2. And we are back. So we see our Fuji Assassins pick up their first win in CoraL there, managed to get a win over QNI, and we will hopefully be getting into game 2 soon and getting a game started. Any opinions on that last game? What do you guys think to that one?
Oh, I mean, Fuji Assassins definitely had the explosive opening, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely one.
They started really strong and showed that there will be a force to be reckoned with in this new league.
Yeah, definitely making a statement. And I think it's going to be an interesting one to see how QNI react to it. Especially considering how that game went. And as you mentioned, you'd expect to see maybe shutting down that bot lane. Maybe able to make something count, something happen.
Yeah, speaking of that bot lane, I just wanted to highlight the fact that Ezreal was not a part of 2 kills in that game.
Jesus.
3 kills, sorry. Out of the 32 kills, he participated in 29.
Impressive to say the least.
If my math is not completely scuffed, which it might be.
Well, if it's scuffed, feel free to correct him in the chat, brutalise him, make him feel wrong.
Kind of like what Fuji Assassin did this game, just brutalized them.
Yeah. Fuji Assassin's from red side, right? Yeah. So they're red. No, they were blue side. They're red now. I will set up the draft.
It's always trying to sneak in on the jungler position for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, get over here, Zoe.
All the spectator slots are filled. Sadly, I'm stuck in the Fuji Assassin jungle right now.
Oh. I think we can expect a completely different game is playing for Fuji Assassin in the jungle. It's gonna be even more of a storm for Fuji Assassin.
What? No, I'm gonna int them.
Right, spectate link.
I would definitely just like to see the Astral banned out, just so like he's probably still gonna like pop off on ADC, but at least you can kill him if it's not Astral.
Yeah, you maybe expect to see that get banned out here as well. But it'd be interesting to see what we see get banned out here. And I think we should be getting to the draft soon, when hopefully everyone is ready to join. I think we're just getting everyone in now. Right, I think we should be getting to the draft real soon. Just team trading up now and we'll get into it. But yeah, so interesting game. You'd expect to see Q and I maybe draft a bit differently. Is there anything from that game that you thought worked well for their team? Anything you think they should keep? Or do you think they should maybe change it up entirely? Anything you guys think?
I feel like the Volibear Dairies were definitely doing their jobs in the team fights. I just feel like there wasn't quite enough damage there to back it up. Maybe because of the Morgana mid lane not quite packing quite the punch of a traditional mid laner. So I would maybe go as far as like keep the top side of the map and try to draft a little more damage maybe.
Definitely, yeah. Could definitely be one to think about. We do see a poll come out here. Do we think Q and I are going to bounce back here? Or do we think Fuji Assassins have just already made a statement and already proved that they're going to make a difference here? We are getting to the draft now, so we'll pop on over to that and see how that plays out. We'll see Q and I on the blue side. Oh, apologies.
I would like to see Q and I maybe whip out like a Ashley on or something, just like go for a level 6 kill lane, which is like, if you hit something, they're dead basically. Or
Yeah.
just opt for like a safe Kog'Maw Lulu lane, like something that scales really well and like it's hard to kill.
Something a bit
Maybe in the
safer.
first pick that's true.
Yeah, definitely. We do see the Shaker and the Sejuani ban being come out again. The ban on the Ezreal instantly being hovered, and it will be locked in. I mean, respectively so, was very, very well played by their bot lane in the previous game. Arctic Chaos doing a fantastic job on that one. The Sejuani ban is standard, and the Nocturne ban coming out from Fuji Assassins. Obviously, a pick that they know their jungle likes to play. The Mundo ban coming out in the first round, so maybe you'd like to see Fuji Assassins pick up the Thresh here if it's not picked by Q&I. What do you think?
I mean, Fuji Assassin was such a dominant force on that Thresh, getting those enabling the Astral in the early game to actually become a real fucking menace in a late or mid to late game.
Yeah, definitely. We see a Morgana being locked in by Q&I. Obviously quite liked it in the previous game, and there is the
Mad
Thresh.
Life is back.
Mad
He's
Life
back.
is returned, and it looks like they're trying to draft for this similar comp again. The Rise being locked in again.
I'm just gonna get the same thing except Astral though.
I mean, honestly, it worked out for them. Why would they swap out their playstyle or their comp?
Definitely.
That's very
If
true.
it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they're definitely playing to that advantage. But look at what Q&I are liking their previous draft too. Obviously thought the Volibear and the Morg was definitely worth picking up again, as that is locked in instantaneously. Obviously that clearly is their playstyle, clearly something they're comfortable on. And fair enough, comfortability is better than trying something that's a bit difficult for your comp to play, especially if you're not used to it. So
And like Volibear is just Volibear. It's like hard to deal with anyways, like if he gets rolling.
100%. And we do see Leona locked in there. If the Fresh plays it right with the Flays, can prevent the Zenith Blade from getting onto the ADC or potentially himself. We saw the Fresh pull out some very nice Flays in the previous game. But we do see Viego being locked in here.
I think this might be a Viego top lane even.
Yeah, rightly so. It could be. You could be right there, but it can even be flexed to the mid lane. It could be a Rise top for all we know. More than likely it isn't, but could be jungle Viego too. So interesting to see the Darius being banned out.
I just know that Sunday, or how you pronounce it, is like a real huge Viego player and has an amazing win rate to boast it as with as well.
Yeah, Tristana banned by Q&I. And Sion and Darius been banned on by Fuji Assassins. Unfortunately, people aren't believing in the Q&I dream, not believing they can bounce back. 80% voting for that they can't. So looking like Fuji Assassins have clearly made the impression that they are a team to fear and a team that are clearly going to be dominant in this River League. But we do see Kaiser being banned out here by Q&I. Obviously, is a pretty strong pick in the right hands and has a lot of self-peel as well, so it can be quite difficult to kill. So we'll be interested to see what bot lane pick out here. Maybe something to pair with the Thresh, potentially Nephelios if they know how to play it. Can be quite a strong pick to pick up here. Anything you guys expect, being bot lane made yourself?
I would read... Oh, you go first, away.
You hear first?
Oh no, you go first.
The beautiful thing about Thresh is that he matches well with any ADC in the game.
Yeah.
So it's really up to the side of Fuji Assassins here. They can pick really any AD carry.
Definitely. We do see a Jinx being locked in and a Mordecai as the counter this on that's been picked in the top lane, looking to just play another tank instead of the Mundo. So what do you expect for this ADC here, Zab?
Oh, I don't know. We still have Varus, which is like pretty popular as well. Might be a good pick, and it's gonna help set up the Viego to get his resets.
Yeah.
So the Varus might be a good pick. We also have like Ashe is open, Aphelios as we talked about is open, Jhin, Draven. It's just like so many good. Oh,
there's the Ashe, as you said, getting good on these predictions, Zab.
I mean, he just listed every AD carry.
No, he didn't. Believe in him, Zoe.
Basically.
He did say the Ashe first, though, so we'll give him that one. But yeah, so we see a Mordekaiser being locked into maybe counter out this Viego, counter out this Rise, maybe bring him into the death realm, prevent him from fighting. Could be a really good pick for Q&I. Could be interesting to see how it's played out. I don't think Maud has got his buff just yet, but I believe he's getting one in the next patch. I think he's getting a buff to, I think one of his CDs on his abilities. Not quite sure. Someone quote me on that if I'm wrong. But what do you guys think to this draft? Who do you think's won this in this stage? Do you think Q and I have drafted something to bring them back?
I really like the Mordekaiser draft into the enemy team, because like if Orn just uses ultimate and Mord is in range, like Orn is not gonna be able to get that second cast of ultimate off, which is gonna be huge. And just like be able to take out Orn, which is basically gonna be the main frontliner out of the team for however long you can, is gonna be really good help to like let the Leona, let the Volby, let the Morgana actually get on the Rise and Ashe and the Viego, hopefully. I really like Q&I's draft. They might be lacking a bit in damage though, but we will see.
I guess it's dependent on how far ahead this Jinx gets, right? Could be looking like a bit of prior on the bot lane. Maybe bot lane decides this game again. But also could be very like Fuji Assassin the Viego side. We all know if Viego gets ahead and gets a reset in team fights, can just be a consistent problem. Especially if he gets to reset on the right champ. If this Jinx gets ahead and the Viego man just pick that up, then it's going to be difficult for Q&I to be able to fight that back. But we are getting into champ select now. The players are just locking in the champions now, hopefully getting into game soon. And yeah, is there anything you expect Q&I to do differently in this game, Zoe? Anything you would like to see them do instead?
I mean, I really just have the same thing to say as I had last game. Play proactively in the early game. Don't let Fuji Assassins run away with the game as they did in the last game. Play around this huge Leona Morgana bot side of the map. Try to get an early advantage. Set up early jungle pressure. And just try to snowball before the Orn items come online, before the Viego really starts killing people.
Yeah.
I feel like Q&I really, they have the late game hyper scaling AD carry here. So they kind of have that on their side, but we'll have to see how it goes.
But as you mentioned, with the Orn passive as well, being able to buff the items, looking like Fuji Assassins are clearly comfortable moving into the late game, and even getting a lead in the early game. So I think you'd expect to see more jungle pressure on the bot side from both teams here. Maybe like to see a mid roaming down as well. And we will hopefully get into game soon, and we'll find out what happens there. Maybe like to see some more Mad Life hooks. We never know. But I'd expect to see quite a lot of players coming out from this bot lane. Do you guys expect to see a level 1 invade maybe from the side of Q&I? Potentially level 1 is a little bit stronger here.
I think Q&I might play it like a bit more safe after the last game.
Potentially could be the case. Obviously we saw the Thresh spot them out with the red buff, didn't we? And the Darius TPing to the top lane. But wasn't the best TP. Didn't manage to get much from it. But maybe we'd like to see a different strategy. Maybe just a 5-point defense, or even just a counter invade. Or we never know how they're going to play this out. But it should be interesting to see how they decide to play it out. And we will get into game soon, just on the 3-minute spectate delay, and we'll get into it.
What I'm really excited looking forward to is Jinx and Ashe like cross map like snipes. That's what I'm hoping for, to see at least 2 or 3 of those.
You're hoping that someone plays true to the American sniper name, aren't you?
yeah, definitely. There's like a Jinx rocket just killing or finishing off this Rise, or a Ashe rocket onto the Mord or Morgana or something, and just like piling the CC up.
One thing to notice as well, and like note with the Jinx rocket, is it can be used to steal objectives quite easily as well. It does quite a lot of AoE damage and can be used a lot to steal Barons and Drakes, and we've seen that happen quite frequently in a lot of games. You probably have yourself. So it's something to note, and definitely creates a little bit more pressure, that little bit of fear, knowing that a Jinx rocket could come in and take that vital objective, whether it's an Elder or another Drake. So it definitely puts a bit of pressure on Fuji Assassin to make sure that they're in the right position to pick up objectives here, and I do expect them to play a bit more on objectives this game. I'm excited to see how this Viego opts to build. Divine Sunder did recently get a nerf for Viego, and it is quite mix between what you've seen getting built recently, whether it's an Immortal Shieldboat, a Kraken Slayer, or a Divine Sunderer. I guess it's dependent on how his game state goes, whether he gets ahead in the early game or whether he just opts for the standard build. But it's going to be definitely one to know and look at and see how it progresses. I feel like top lane may just be a farm lane, right? With the Ornn and the Maud.
Yeah. What I'm really looking forward to is to see Q&I's target selection, because that's gonna be like hella important in this game. Because like they have the Morgana to lock down Evolver, they have Leon, and they have Jinx to follow up on CC as well. So you can like lock down one target really well, like a Viego if he tries to go in or like he's a bit out of position, or the Ashe Order, right? So really have the potential to just like say no, you cannot move for at least 10 seconds, sort of stuff. They have a lot of potential just to like hold one person in place, blow that one up, and then like try to go for the next one.
Yeah, you're definitely right there. There's a lot of opportunity to make sure that they're choosing the right targets, especially with the Mordekaiser Realm, as you mentioned. But being, as I mentioned before, being a support, Zoe, what do you expect to see Salty Snorlax do on this Leona to deny the Thresh maybe getting too much CC onto this Jinx?
I mean, we just saw, I think it's the season 6 bot lane, where you just saw Leona Thresh every single game, because they were the only two viable supports.
Definitely.
And the Thresh has a lot of counterplay to the Leona, but the Leona's cooldowns are shorter than Thresh's in the early game. So Leona just has to really ignore Thresh and just try to go on Ashe as much as possible. And Thresh kind of has a more passive role in this lane.
Yeah, definitely could be an interesting lane to watch. And I do think you're going to see a lot of pressure being created in the bot lane. It's what I expect to see anyway. And we are just getting into game here. We'll look and see what the different runes are and see if there's anything notable to look at. Apologies for that, wrong thing to put.
I'm not so sure about the heal on the Jinx. It might just be a comfort thing, but like even just having the cleanse for when the Ashe hits level 6, it's gonna be so huge.
Yeah, it really is. But we do see Fresh opting for the Aftershock again. Clearly thought it worked. We see a lot of pings going towards the mid lane and the river. Looking like Q&I are looking to go through mid lane. Might meet Fuji Assassins here, but they are just looking to run rounds and they may just miss each other here.
They might clash in the spot side river though, because it's a 5v5 and they're right next to each other. They're seeing the enemy team here, but they might just sit it out, not wanting to pick the fight. Here comes the Morgana binding, hitting the Ashe. The flash in from two members. The Ashe just almost dying, but manages to get away safely. And the Morgana trying to get out. The Diego flashing for the kill, but going down right afterwards. The Jinx flashing in to get the kill on the Ashes. And the Volibear going back in. The Ryze going dangerously low, but flashing over the wall. The Leona is on the chase here, but realizes he's not going to catch a Thresh and backs out. And that is a 3-kill level 1 with how many flashes burned? 8 flashes burned.
There's 8 flashes burned. Seven in total, but it's not so much a disaster this time for Q&I in the early game. It's actually a positive, and they do manage to pick up a couple of kills, notably, most importantly, on this Jinx. And it's definitely going to be a problem in this early game here. I think my spectate is bugged, and it still tells me that Viego is Ashe, which is not fun. So that's going to be a difficult one for me to watch, but I'll deal with it as we go along. I don't know if I'll have to...
The Jinx did not back, though, so he's not actually going into the lane with an advantage.
Yeah.
But his first back is going to be very big.
We also have the same problem we had last time by Q&I's told to Snorlax missing a lot of the first wave even. So really need to respect level 2 all in, especially with the Ashe, just be able to slow them down like there's no tomorrow.
This is the way where it happens. Fuji Assassins have the level 2 advantage again. The Thresh is going forward looking for a hook, but they learned from their mistakes and they backed off at level 2. There
we go, we are fixed. Apologies for that. Had a weird bug there. Looks like it is fixed now. Thank you very much, for Darkness, for telling me how to fix that there. Apologies for that little broken issue there. You know, League doing League things as always. But let me know if you can see that now, if everything's fixed. It looks like it is.
We might see a collapse in the top lane here. Ornn going to move to Warden to the enemy jungle, but the directed camera opting for this bot lane fight instead. Ornn almost got got out there, but
directed camera loves that for us, doesn't it? Did it exactly the same last time.
Just ignoring the top lane wet noodle fight, as it should be most of the time.
Yeah.
It realized that bot lane is a more interesting lane.
Yeah, not being the most dominant lane right now in the game. Can I rearrange Fuji assassins? Yes, I can. Of course I can. Don't think there was in the order, but I'll rearrange just for you.
I definitely like the Jinx pick though, because that brings the damage that Q&I is actually like missing from the team comp. Because like a fed Jinx or a like 3-4 item Jinx can really fucking shred people, especially if they're clumped up with the rockets as well.
Yeah, rightly so. I mean, we do see the Jinx being able to pick up a lot as well in this early game.
Did you just put support?
Yeah, I put in the wrong place. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to eat cheese at the same time. Okay, leave me alone. I'm trying to eat some cheese at the wrong time.
We know your body is weak. It's fine.
That's why you need to eat the cheese.
Yeah, I'm eating the cheese to buff myself up.
Maybe
but Thresh going in dangerously close here, but the Leona scaring him off with a big sun W.
The Ash pick though is a really good like utility ADC, and it's still lane dominant with the W poke, with the slow, with the all in at level 6 and the auto attack reset on the Q as well. So it definitely can be a like force to be reckoned with in the lane.
We have a gang coming in from Q the goat here, trying to run in on the Thresh, but the Thresh is safe on the other side of the lane. Takes some damage, but walks away from the gang safely.
Yeah, looking at that to create pressure in this bot lane. As I rightly said as well, trying to shut this ADC down, trying to shut them off, getting anything.
Oh, but look at the big brain freeze here coming from the Fuji assassin support. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name, I am sorry, but setting up a huge freeze for the
iCrew?
Remember the H is silence.
I'm going to call you iCrew. If I got it wrong.
So we see Ornn going in here for a trade with the Mordecai. But here the Diego's going in for a gank in the bot lane. The Ashe putting some slows onto this Jinx, but get hit by the Chompy Chompers. There's a TP coming in. There's a big bear coming in, flashing in, trying to get on this Diego. The entirety of Fuji assassins are on the run, but Ashe gets pulled in and dies. But here, the goat and Salty Snorlax are still chasing this Diego, slapping a plant in his face. But another kill for Q&I here in the early game as they move in to secure this dragon.
Yeah, really well played, and I think Q&I is trying to prove a point that they're not going to be walked over so easily again, and showing Fuji Assassins that they can match them and they can show the difference. So, really well played there. Managed to pick something up at least. His Jinx is getting reasonably strong now, picking up a Noon Quiver. Take a look at the gold, and the Jinx is about 500 gold ahead of this Ashe in the early game. Slightly behind on farm, but this Jinx is going to be able to get something a little bit stronger here and be able to pick up the boots as well at the same time. We do see gold pretty even, about 300 gold ahead for the side of Q&I, and bot lane's gone a lot better this time for Q&I, don't you think, Zab?
It definitely has. And like Ashe is not gonna be able to do as much damage as a Ezreal with like the same amount of items. Ashe just like doesn't deal as much damage. He is a good ADC, but not like a hyper carry ADC like the Jinx, like the Ezreal, like the Kog'Maw, like the Vayne, like those sort of champs.
Yeah, 100%. We saw the Hawk shot going out from Kizafroskene there. I think that's the name. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that as well. Did spot out the volley bear, so we'll know where they are. Couple of pings going out as well. Freshy looking to maybe take an engage in this bot lane here, or maybe just get back into lane. But we do see a fight go out in the top lane.
The Ornn goes up in the top lane. The Mordekaiser gets knocked up, and Diego is moving in here. Ornn hitting the knockup as well. And Mordekaiser going down cleanly, but the Volley Bear is also up there. Gets pulled in by the Mordekaiser, but not much more happening there. The directed camera.
Yeah, I think
That's a Leona goes in on the thresh here. A lot of damage going out. The flash away, and Madlife misses a hook.
the death sentence just unfortunately missing there. I think we saw Aaron just stand a little bit too close to the wall, especially when you know the thresh is there. It's a bit difficult to the Ornn is there. Maybe want to not stand too close to the wall. However, we do see Q and I.
We see Thresh moving in for a gank in the bot lane, in the mid lane here, but he's getting pinged, so the blue side has some kind of vision on him.
Does stop
Still managing to hit the hook under the turret. Getting full combo by this Morgana though. Taking a lot of damage, but did stop the back, like you said.
Did stop the back, did force out the Morgana ult, so overall pretty good victory there for iCrew picking up that. We do see Viego pathing towards his Rift Herald as the Volibear and the Mordekaiser's looking to fight it though, but Viego's saying none of it and wants it himself, and it does actually go over, and the Ash Arrow just misses.
Missing slightly, but there's 3 people now against 2 people of Q and I. They're chasing this Mordekaiser down, the Ornn leading the charge, hitting the knock-up, and the kill. And there's a kill in the bot lane as well. Things are just happening all over the place now. The threshold goes wide. The Diego going in, not quite reaching the plant in time to catch the Morgana. As Fuji assassins are trying to take over this blue buff.
No one has picked up the Herald, which is a strange one, and that will just be left to his own devices and unfortunately go away. But yeah, not what you want, as the Herald just gets left alone and gets left a timeout. But we did see a solo Bolo there from the Jinx, picked up a nice little kill on the Ashe in the bot lane. I mean, clearly showing the dominance as they've picked up so many items and are notably about 1,000 gold ahead at this Ashe. We do see overall the gold is still pretty close, favouring the side of Fuji Assassins just slightly, primarily because of the farm differences in the jungle and the top lane, I would assume.
Oh, but Madlife fitting a hook here, forcing the Leona to flash away, the Ashe flashing forward. Trying to slow down this Leona, the Thresh hitting the Flay, but the Leona not being too tanky to take down at this point.
Yeah, the W from the Leona obviously clearly doing a lot for this Leona and being able to show that it's a very tanky ability. I believe it's got Eclipse, that's the word for it. And looking like bot lane, I was going to go reset here.
I also like to point out, like, the Asher would have perfectly hit the Mord if he wasn't in his ultimate. And just like the recognition from Q&I on the dive is when they knew Ash didn't have the arrow, like, this is where we go for, this is where we dive. To force out the cleanse, I'm not sure if the flash was still on cooldown then, but at least managed to pick up the kill. And it also
hitting
out
some
that,
damage here.
Yeah, definitely Zab. And we do see, looking like Q&I are going to try set off this Drake here, do have the advantage here as the Mordekaiser is bot lane. We do see a TP from the Ornn though, Zoe.
Yeah, with TP coming in, we're seeing an Ornn Horn here as well, looking to engage this fight. We have the entirety of Fuji Assassins going in, the Morgana taking a lot of damage, the Ornn just wreaking havoc on the backline, the Leona going down here, and the Dragon being secured by the Diego. As we see Thresh stuck in this Dragon Pit with the Mordekaiser, but the rest of Fuji Assassins comes to help him out. Viego just turned into a Mordekaiser and hopped the wall to take up this pink ward. A clean fight for Fuji Assassins.
Definitely, and Q&I just slightly playing that a bit too wrong there, maybe underestimating the Ornn damage, as the Ornn just, like you said, wreaked absolute havoc on that backline. And maybe would have expected to see the Viego ult the Mordekaiser ult the Viego there, preventing from stealing the dragon, but did end up ulting the Thresh, I believe, there, and it's just not exactly what you want. The Viego did manage to pick up the smite though on the Drake.
I think it might have been a misclick, because he seemed to like not want to use it on Ornn just because he knew that the Viego was coming in.
Potentially, yeah. May have been a misclick, may have just been unfortunate, but in future would expect to see him used out on the appropriate target, and obviously in the objective fights you would expect it to be on this Viego. That being said, Fuji Assassin's picking up some kills there, some vital kills, actually bringing themselves back into the game and actually leading 2,000 gold now in this game. Shut down on 3 of their carries, the Rise, the Ashe, and the Viego. So obviously the gold is definitely the most appropriate champions here. But it's definitely not all end of that ends well for the side of Q&I, because this Jinx is still rather fed, has picked up the Kraken Slayer, and definitely going to be the person to peel for throughout this whole game.
The main goal difference in terms of Fuji Assassin's side now is on the Ornn and the Viego. Which is rocking. The Viego has like close to 2k gold lead over the Volibear at this point.
Definitely look like Ornn is going to take a fight though with the Aaron in the top lane against Mordekaiser. It's going to keep going, but just a short trade realistically, just to pressure them off. Looking like the GOAT is looking to maybe get a gank here if Ornn oversteps.
There might be something spicy here, but I think that Ornn has vision on him because he's backing off very far to the tower here. Or if he's moving to the ward. He might see... Yeah, he's spots one there with that vision plant.
Yeah, there is a ward in the Pixel Brush in the top river. Looking like they're just going to leave Kizafronskene to get some farm here, pick up this. But we do see your boy Dandy coming in to maybe get a kill here in the bot lane.
Viego moving in the mist. The Q&I bot lane don't know what's going on. The stun going in on Q&I Bacon. The Ashe hitting away. The Jinx ult going very close to killing Ashe. The Leona going for the kill, but not quite connecting with the E. The Diego picking up the kill on the Leona as well. Using the Leona E to get on top of the Mordekaiser, killing him as well. And this Diego is out for more blood, ulting in on the Volibear, stunning him. The Volibear goes dunking away, Michael Jordan style, and Morgana goes golden in the middle of the entirety of Fuji Assassins. Has nowhere to go, and Diego picks up another kill.
It just, when it was looking so good for Q&I, just unfortunately falling that hurdle, maybe overstepping a little bit. It just seemed like they were just going in one by one and just trying to make something happen that was already doomed. Zab, what do you think to that one?
Yeah, they should just take in the last one, like not waste the TP from Mordekaiser or the Volibear and Morgana following up. Should just like recognize, okay, like this is, they ganked us, we're going to die here. Let's just see if you can get one. If not, we're at least going to die with the pride, you know?
Yeah, definitely. But Fuji Assassins clearly asserting their dominance again, and it, like, as someone's just said, taking the words right out of my mouth, Dandy just 1v9 in this game, just proving that this Viego is definitely a problem. It has built the Kraken Slayer, burning through this Volibear, burning through this Leona, and just managing to get everything. We do see the Ornn pick up the enemy blue buff. It feels bad for the GOAT here. Not the best thing in the world, and it's painful to see that happen. But one thing to notice is that Dandy is 3 levels up on this Volibear here.
As we're seeing Q&I going for a play on the Thresh here in the middle of their jungle. The Thresh taking a lot of damage, getting stunned by Leona and gets taken down. This is a pick right before the dragon is about to spawn. And Q&I have full control over the dragon right now, trying to catch the Ashe as well. But Ashe moves away safely.
The Dark Binding just missed, unfortunately, but they are going to pick up the blue buff here and maybe look to get this Drake here. Full dominance here to Q&I over this Drake and looking to get something, but we do see Ornn pick up this top lane. Viego is topside, will get spotted out on the pink ward, and looking like they will pick this up as it spawns in 15 seconds, but someone maybe need to match this Ornn in this top lane. Looking like they are going to send Kakashi up there to maybe try pick this off. On looking to reset as this Drake is coming up. Maybe Fuji Assassins try to engage here, or maybe Dandy just opts for the Rift Herald. We'll see what happens.
The Ornn
teleport is putting so much into the dragon right now, but Ornn is teleporting in here, popping the Ornn horn, forcing Q&I off the dragon. The hook connecting once again. The Mord ult coming down, 1v1ing the Thresh. The Volibear flashing out to safety. The Mordekaiser is going to go down here as soon as his ult comes down. Diego going in onto the Leona. The Yash keeping it slowed down, taking up the kill. And they forced Q&I off the dragon, and now they're going to be able to pick it up for themselves. Morgana and Volibear are still here to contest, so the Volibear seems to be out for blood here. The Threshold connecting, the Flay connecting, the Morgana flashing in with the ultimate. Volibear goes down. Morgana is trying to make a run for it, gets ulted by the Diego. And just so many kills. The dragon resets. The Jinx goes in as well now. He is not done with this fight, but he's getting perma-slowed by the Ashe, flashing away, getting flashed after, being so slow right now, and Ashe just finishes the kill.
Fuji Assassins showing again that they mean business in this CoraL League and picking up so many kills. Everything went their way in that game, in that fight, sorry, and it's just fantastically played. Break it down for us, Zab. How do you think that? Where did Q and I go wrong?
I feel like they just tried to like overforce something that they could just given. It was a Cloud Drake, the second Drake in game as well. Like it's not that important, but instead they managed to like I think everyone died at the end.
Yeah, it really was an issue, and I think like you said, just overforce and just it looking as if they're going in one by one, trying to get something out of it, and maybe just not understanding that these little advantages can stack up and they can get the advantages. I mean, we saw it from Fuji Assassins in the early game, right? There was behind, the Jinx was 2-0, looking hopeful for Q&I, but Fuji Assassins played it patiently, made the right picks, and then waited for the appropriate team fights, fought on their own accords, and it's not looking good for Q&I now. There's the sniper, and it's just going to miss.
Oh.
Sad times. I'm sorry, Zab, we may see it one day. Hopefully soon.
Next
time. Yeah, guys, apologies if there's some issues with Spectator Client, as Tomica rightly pointed out. There is a bit of it's just a bit bugs right now, and there's just so many issues with it. But we're trying our best. I promise it's not our fault.
I want to see the Ashe ult on cooldown, just trying to pick up someone. That's...
I mean, it's a pretty short cooldown.
The Morgana keep connecting, but the Ornhorn coming in, knocking up the Morgana. The Morgana's just not allowed to move. They're getting CC chained by Ornn and Threat. A hook going out, connecting to the Mordekaiser. The Mordekaiser ulting. But Diego manages to flash away after taking a lot of damage. The Ornn is tanking a lot of damage now, flashing away. A nice play from the Thresh, but the Jinx rocket managing to take down the Ornn. And now they're pushing, moving in to take down this mid turrets.
Yep, there's the sniper. Not so much a cross map, more like a shotgun, but it's straight into the face of the Ornn. And it's a nice pickup for the side of Q&I here. Definitely look like Jinx could potentially bring them back into this game if they play it right, play it patiently. And it's exactly what they did, Zab. They played it patiently, and I think there's maybe a little bit of hope for this game.
I mean, it's definitely not over yet. Just like need to be careful of the Viego resets in the team first, because that can get like, ooh,
there's the sniper.
And we see a snipe on top of the Leona, but there's no one there to follow up. Sadly, and Leona just walks out with the sun guiding her way.
I'm happy it seems to be used on cooldown, so I ain't got no complaints about that.
He's heard you, Zab, the play-in-see advantages, but Leona does use the ult.
Leona is angry now. She's out for the bench, but Diego was there to stop the play.
Salty Snorlax looking to get something, looking to pressure him off, saying, I can ultimate too, I can use mine, and does use that ultimate, does use the solar flare.
There was summoning a Shelly in the mid lane looking to get this charge off, but they're just leaving Shelly to his fate here.
Does manage to get a charge off, so really well played there by Fuji Assassin. Shelly doing a very good job. Definitely a Shelly diff this game though. And it is looking like Fuji Assassins are just going to retreat back to the jungle, pick up the waves, pick up the farm. But they do have complete dominance of the vision here. The vision line sitting quite high up, being able to get some vision in their enemy jungle. And Q&I looking to start taking it away now. But this Viego has finished his Sterix gauge, has got the Kraken Slayer, and he's just going to be a huge problem in these fights.
Like Salty Snorlax and Forsaken as well just had a measuring contest of who could stun better with their ults.
Yeah.
One point there as well.
Yeah, they're just trying to show... They're trying to keep it out of the balance, trying to show the dominance, trying to be the alpha. But we'll see who will be the man and who will be the mouse as this game goes on. And looking like Fuji Assassins are just going to run into the mid lane here, potentially try to force him out of this Drake here, Q&I out of this Drake here. But I don't know if they can win the team fight here. Maybe we'll see an Ornhorn coming out soon.
The hook going wide, sadly. But the Ornhorn is coming now, looking for the engage. Oh, but the Leona stunned to deny the Ornhorn from coming out. Now they're just moving to maintain control over this Drake. The Volibear going in, but getting scared away quite quickly. Now there's just a poke war going down. They're looking at each other, but the Thresh hook goes in, the Black Shield goes in, and Volibear dunks on the entire red team. Thresh doing a good play, but going down. Now Jinx throwing off her rocket. The Diego is wreaking havoc on the backline, just taking down everyone, getting reset after reset. The Ornn managing to get out safely. The Jinx flashing after the Ornn here. But Diego is on the chase. Diego wants blood, but gets stuck in the Jinx chompers. The Jinx really popping off this fight, but Diego is still on the chase. The Jinx in trouble now, getting hit by a tower shot. Where is she gonna go? Is she gonna outrun this Diego? The Diego throwing down the mist, charging the stun, hitting her, and there is no escaping the Shadow Isle.
Finally picks her up, but the Jinx looking like could finally be the beacon of light for Q&I, popping off in that team fight, playing it very, very well. But unfortunately, looking like Fuji Assassins will pick up this Drake here and put themselves at soul point. Looking like Q&I might be going to try to stop them from this, but I don't know if they can get anything out with the Jinx being unfortunately dead, and it does get picked up. They go jumping in though.
Yeah, they go jumping in, but he's stuck between the wall and the entirety of Fuji Assassin, almost taking down the Diego, but it gets a reset, and then the Ashe hits the Mordekaiser with the ult. The Ornn Horde going in, but doesn't hit anything, as we're seeing Kakashi run for his life. But here we also have two people against the Leona. Diego managing to connect to the Morgana, taking it down. The Thresh hitting the hook. They don't really have the damage to take Leona down. She's fighting valiantly.
Oh, the
But
hook.
the Mad Life hook on top of the Jinx, managing to take her down as well.
Just Q&I just trying to force again. Could have give up the Drake. Didn't need to fight that. And it's just looking like they may have just cancelled out everything that happened, everything Bacon did in that fight, everything he did to show that they can maybe win this game. And it should just be a free Baron here for Fuji Assassins. I don't know, Zab, what do you think they should have done there differently?
I mean, it still wasn't like a it still wasn't a soul Drake, so you could just like left it to try to like catch up to the gap. And I would like preferably like see they just like, if they could get the pick, then they fight for Dragon, not just like try to run in and fight for Drake as a 5v5 when they are as much behind as they actually is.
The
Like, it was
Ornn
also
is coming in here to cover the disengage from Fuji Assassin, but some of them might be stuck in the pit here. The Volibear jumping in, trying to jump out again. The Ornn is stuck in the pit here with 3 people of Q&I just mauling down at him. They managed to get one Baron away, but they managed to escape with the Baron safely. The Thresh might be in trouble here. Getting stopped by the Morgana. Can she hit the Q?
Oh,
No,
I
she
flashed
managed
it.
to go through ult anyways, but the Thresh flashes it.
Just unfortunate, but does force the Thresh flash out, and then it's good that Q&I at least managed to pick something up, that little bit extra to keep them back in the game. And I still have hope. I still think this Jinx can carry this fight. The Mord in the previous fights did ult the Viego, kept her off her, and maybe some miracle comes along and they win the fight. Maybe something happens. Maybe they wait for the sort of next Drake. But you'd like to see him not try force too much, right, Zab? Not try to fight every single thing.
Yeah, I'd really like to see a stopwatch on the Mordekaiser as well, though. So like when the Viego, which seems to be like the biggest problem of that Q&I is having now, just like you're gonna fight me inside my realm, but then when stopwatch, you're just gonna have to stand there and watch, and just like hopefully the rest of the team can like mostly clean up the fight outside.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just slow them down, right? Slow it on the team fight. I think Q&I have tried to fight a bit too much, a bit too quickly here. It's just causing problems for them. But the arrow does hit.
But the Ashe ult hitting, the Ornn Horde going down, the Leona ult to counter, but Leona's just stuck between 4 people here and goes down. And now Diego is in Leona's body. What is he gonna look to do with it? Man, goes for the, but does not quite hit.
Sorry. Camera controls. Why my mouse is
Yeah,
just
I have
a-
sorry.
I have a bad habit of just calling him Diego because that's what we called him when he came out.
I love it.
Is it?
There is a fight there in the mid lane. Looking like Q&I just
Yeah.
looking to pressure off them here. But the hook just hit again,
But
Mad
the
Life!
Mad Life go going in, and Morgana just stands no chance.
Igru again showing why he's the best Thresh in River. We'll see, trying to take that title, see if anyone can match that. But it's looking like he may go for another one here. Does unfortunately just miss on this Volibear. But looking like they're just going to try CJ, use advantage of this Baron buff. And the hook lands again.
Hook connecting on the Mordekaiser, being CC'd for like 4 seconds there. The Volibear tanking a lot of damage on the other side of the fight. The Rice going and getting the kill on the Mordekaiser. And Fuji Assassins are breaking off this siege to go and maybe get this dragon.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron trying to just prevent the Rise from killing him there, just stop him from getting anything, but Arctic Chaos just flashing in and picking that up. But looking like Fuji Assassins now aren't done. Want more kills, they want blood, and they're just going to sit here, wait for a trap. Looking like Q&I will just wander into this jungle, maybe. Leona looking a bit worrying to see where she comes. The Vision Plant doesn't quite spot them, does it?
They're doing the V5 Death Brush here, immortalized by Valkyrie 5.
A ping does go down. But
the red team getting the Cloud Soul here.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, to any supports, maybe not the best Thresh yet. Sorry, Zoe, but you got to prove your point. You got to prove your point. Prove you are the best Thresh. Maybe next time you pick it, yeah? When you play against them.
I mean, I've proved myself several times in the past. I'm not going to let the first timer come here and claim my position, but he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely scared.
Yeah, definitely proving that he is one to be contended with. And Q and I are just going to look to pick up anything they can at this point. The scraps and little scrapes they can pick up here and pick up the Fred buff on this Jinx. The Jinx is 3 items though. Has the Collector, has the Runans, has the Kraken Slayer. What do you think to this build, Zab? Were you expecting anything differently?
No, not really. It's really gonna come down to how much crit. But I actually might want to see a Infinity Edge coming out now from this Jinx.
Would you not like to see maybe a LDR as opposed to the Collector?
Collector is fine. It's gonna help. To stop the Viego from just getting those quick resets when it's low health. It's gonna just clean up the fights, get excited passive just rolling.
Oh, Salty Snorlax is gonna get caught out though. Arctic Chaos picking the Everfrost up and rooting him in place, and because the Frost Cannon will pick that up instantly on the Ashes, overcommitting a little bit, and the arrow does hit and the fresh hook, and it's not going well for Q and I. Picking up every scrap.
Starting to get the levels up, so he's just starting to upgrade his items for his team, so it's just getting stronger and stronger by the levels.
Yeah, definitely. Q and I just looking like they're trying to overforce here, but the Baron is spawning in 10 seconds, and Fuji Assassins want this Nashor, and they are going to look to get it, and I don't know if Q and I can contest this really. The hook does hit again.
Another hook connecting. The Volibear just being CC chain, managing to dunk out of the Ornhorn, but Mordekaiser also taking a lot of damage, getting 1v1 by the Rice here, and Thresh having a courtesy lantern to get him over the wall, as your boy Dandy and Frostkin just taking down this Baron 2v1, and now Fuji Assassins are moving in.
Nice dodge on the hook
onto
though.
This Q&I base.
Nice sidestep on the hook, and Arctic Chaos did get ulted there.
The Ash ult not quite connecting, the Volibear moving forward but not quite going in. But now we have 4 people from Q&I. The Leona ult goes wide and the Ash flashes the Morgana binding. As we have a 4v4 in the mid lane here. Fuji trying to siege into the enemy base with the Baron minions, but Q&I are doing a good job of clearing them. The hook hits the Jinx and the Jinx goes down. And now Diego is clearing things up. The Ornn flashing after this Morgana, trying to get some CC on him. Diego goes in for the double kill. The Ornhorn goes out. The Morgana goes down. There's an ace for Fuji Assassins with the Baron inside the Q&I base, and this will be the game.
Fuji Assassins again, not letting Q&I bounce back, proving that they're going to be a dominant force in this River League, and you have to commend them. Playing very, very well. Notably, the bot lane doing a fantastic job. notable mention to this Viego though, and it's very, very well played from Fuji Assassins, and they will pick up their first victory, and it's a 2-0 win for them in this game. And we'll take a look at the stats here and look at the damage. Expecting a lot of damage from this Viego and this Ashe, and it is this Ashe doing 24,000 damage, but the Morg doing notably the most, which is surprising. But you've got to just give a mention to this Viego. Definitely carried that game and did very well, but very, very well played there. And we'll get a poll out if we can by Gab for an MVP. But we'll also pick a caster's MVP. Do you guys have any votes for who your MVP is going to be for the whole series? Zab, do you know your yours is going to be?
It's hard to tell. It's between either the Viego, Ashe, or the Thresh at this point. Like Thresh setting up so many early game and so many crucial hooks, just letting his snowball letting his team keep snowballing. Ashe was well positioning really well in the later stage of the game, especially in the Astral game as well. And just your boy Dandy just being fucking everywhere, like on the sack ganking, interrupting jumps, other abilities. Just being there whenever then my team tried to make a play, and now popping off on a Viego as well.
Yeah, definitely. Gonna ask you for a name there. Are you gonna pick someone for your MVP for the series?
I think I need to go with Forsaken. Just ADC. Going for an ADC.
Yeah,
feels right.
The ADC doing well. Maybe a bit of favouritism coming out from Zab there, but we'll let it slide. Zoe, how about you? You got a name?
I mean, we had an ADC dominant game in the first one. We had a jungle dominant game in the second one. But the common delimiter in both games was Madlife himself on that Thresh.
Yeah.
Of course, not biased at all because I'm a support main myself, but he was just creating plays all over the place, being a very consistent player, and he deserves my MVP spot.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there on that one. I do think the Thresh was clearly the factor, clearly the key asset in the game. But it's notably mentioned to say that the vast majority of Fuji Assassins did play very, very well. The whole games, all games, each player played their own part. But I do think it's going to go, in my opinion, the casters by majority, sorry Zab, will go to this Thresh. But you can vote for yourself, guys. There's a poll up right now to see who you think is going to be MVP. Looking very favoured for the Thresh right now, and iCrew. If that's your name, please correct us if we're not pronouncing that right. Just going based off what I can read. But either way, it was really well played. And yeah, commiserations to Q and I. Had some positive moments though, and definitely showed that there's a lot to improve on, and they can definitely make some plays, and we saw that. I mean, Bacon played very well in the Jinx in that game too, and I don't think it's easy to be disheartened after a loss, but there's definitely positives to pick up, and I think they had some good moments, don't you guys?
Oh, definitely. Especially where the fight where Mordekaiser ulted Viego and Jinx could just basically free you out on the rest of the team and my team.
Yeah, 100%. But do you think Fuji Assassin's going to be a bit of a dominant force then in this league, Zoe, or do you think it's a little too early to say?
I mean, it's only one game so far.
True.
It's gonna be. They're definitely shown what they're here for. That they're here to win. So I'm looking forward to facing them. Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Me too, and I think a lot of other teams in River will be. But that being said, if any players from either side want to jump in for an interview, Gab read my mind just them saying that. Please jump into waiting to be moved. Waiting to be moved.
Just gonna move in and then mute you, and that's it.
Jump into waiting to be moved on the CoraL Discord, and we'll drag you straight in. Can do Q&I first, if that's okay. If anyone from Q&I wants to jump in, let us know. If you don't have to, if you don't want to, but if you do want to join us, then please let us know. If not, that's perfectly fine. We'll give you a couple of seconds to let us know. But you don't have to. We can talk about Fuji Assassins, and I think they said Dandy wants this, so we can drag Dandy in. Awesome, we'll drag Dandy in. Why is everything... Hold on. There we go. Hello.
Hey.
Hello. We have
Hello.
we have Dandy Man in, and you have been voted to come in and join us. So yeah, well done. Congratulations on you in. Talk us through the game. How do you think they went? Anything you are taking positives wise?
So I think our team focused in on a pretty good plan. We've got a pretty strong bot lane, as you guys pointed out. So like both games, I think the first game we were planning to play around the bot lane, right? Kizzo on Ezreal's pretty good. Our Thresh is pretty insane. So the first lane of the plan was on that. We've got a bit of a sleeper pick with Sundi on Mundo. I feel like some love should go out to him on that. The first game, the Mundo, was pretty hard for them to deal with, so I thought that was pretty good. Then the second game, we tried to switch it around a bit. The game plan was in theory meant to be to focus around me and jungle, although our bot lane is just kind of dominant, so it ended up following on them as well.
Yeah,
So,
your Thresh was making some
yeah.
good plays in both games,
it was kind of insane.
Yeah, a little
But,
bit cracked in that game, and he has just won the MVP actually as well. So really well played, and congratulations to you on the MVP, Ikaru on the Thresh. But either way, I wanted to talk through your drafts. So the Viego pick, is that something you've been practicing in the past, or is it something that you are just picking up recently?
The Viego pick, we've been playing it. Me and our top lane have been playing it basically since he's come out. So in the first draft, they banned it out, which I think was a pretty good ban on their part. But in the second game, we figured we needed to change things up a bit. So we didn't want to just go in on the same strategy, right? Like in the first game, my Zac was okay, but I was very open to being punished. I didn't really farm very much. So we're like, okay, cool. Let's switch it up. Let's pick something that we can carry in the jungle. And Viego's fantastic for that, particularly because they started out the ban with Leona, and I can't remember what the other pick was. I think it was Morgana, right? Which are two fantastic souls for Viego.
Yeah.
Like really, like if we can just get like one kill on the Morgana, on the Leona, the team fight easily as after that point. So we're like, okay, cool. Let's pick the Viego. It's a good flex pick. We can change the draft based on what we wanted, and then going later on in the draft, we were just like, we're gonna pick Ornn for top, just have a good tank.
100%. It was a great draft from both sides, to be fair, and I think you just obviously showed that you can play your comp to your advantages. Any questions from you guys, Zoe and Zab? Zoe, Zab, you got any questions, guys? All answered. I think they're a bit stunted for questions.
I don't really have anything right now.
Yeah, no.
A bit out on the spot.
Yeah, no.
You're doing such a good job, Hampy. Just keep it up.
It's
Thanks,
cool.
mate.
We're used to it. We're used to stunning performance.
But yeah, so thank you very much for the interview, and we'll see if Q and I Intellect want to jump for an interview. But congratulations again, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers. Well played to the other team. It was fantastic. Cheers for the games, lads.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Wicked. So that was Dandy Man, your boy Dandy, on the interview. Very well played there. Thank you to my co-casters for having no questions.
Fuck you, I'm googling some questions.
You know we got your back, Hampy.
Thank you. Thank you, Red, for the follow, by the way, on the stream.
We just couldn't ask any question. They didn't want to like overshine your questions, you know.
Oh, too cute. So the Q and I want to jump in. Salty Snorlax, I think you were saying before that you might want to jump in. So let me know if you do, and we'll drag you in. If not, totally fine. You don't have to. No pressure at all. Yeah, I'm good to jump in. Is that I'm good to jump in, or are you good to not? Just want to make sure. I'm going to pass it to Salty. Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes. I just need to drag you up one more because it's bit difficult to drag you in. Hold on. Hello.
Oh, I'm in a casting couch. Wonderful.
Sorry about that. It's a bit difficult to drag you up all the way up to the
don't worry.
casting thing.
I will warn you, I'm an absolute mean lord, so I'm not going to be serious at all.
No, that's fair enough. I'm happy to see that. But yeah, I just wanted to have a quick chat about how you think the games went. Any positives you want to take from it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just want to seriously shout out. You guys pretty much nailed it when you were interviewing Assassins as a support. Like that Mundo in the first draft absolutely rocked our world. Really.
Yeah.
Like my entire job was just stand in front of Tristana. Nobody's gonna get through me, hopefully, and then Mundo just goes with who pleases. Really. So.
Yeah, definitely. But notably well played on the Braum. Did a really good job. Pulled some good shields.
If we had a little, some of the shields are a bit questionable. Like the one walking away from Dragon, I think I just did it for the movement speed, really. But
hey, you're honest at least.
I'm brutally honest, but I don't know. Like I'm kind of the Q&I Intellect vice captain, so I'm kind of in charge of drafts.
Mm-hmm.
When I was kind of looking over like the Assassin's draft, I have it all on like a big piece of paper that I've wrote down. So we pretty much knew straight away that like we didn't really want to get the Shaco through the pick and ban because we've seen quite a lot of good KDAs from at least two of the people on the enemy team.
Yeah, for sure.
The big one for me personally is obviously we definitely got rid of Viego game one because I was not dealing with that champion.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I'm still so used to the figuring out how his kit just gets resets and then.
Was there any reasoning to leave it up the second
perfect.
game, or was it more just because you felt there was more important bans?
We thought that the Ezreal was going to be more of a problem. We had a bit of contention in the champ select.
Yeah.
As the support player for the team, like I already knew from game one that Thresh was an absolute monster. Now he's absolutely in my wheelhouse as well. But we're trying to play a bit more of a defensive game, going in obviously both games really, just trying to find our feet on it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, I would have preferred to see the Thresh ban, but we prioritised and making sure to get rid of the Ezreal first, just to try and limit the range difference between the two comps. But I think overall the Fuji Assassin just played really, really well as a team. Like their vision score was outstanding.
Yeah, I mean it's great to see you commemorating them for their performance.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Either way. But have you guys got any positives to take from that game personally? I thought there were some really good moments. We discussed this as casters, and there's good moments from you guys. And I definitely think there's a lot of positives to take into the future games as well. You've had a new roster, I believe, as well. A pretty new roster, I think.
Yeah, we have been playing usually maybe 3-4 games a week for the last month and a half, 2 months and stuff. So still quite fresh. Still kind of trying to find our feet and stuff. Obviously, just trying to play as much as we can, comfort picks wise. Try to find out what works as like a 4-1. So
yeah, I mean it comes with time, as you mentioned. It's something that you synergize on over time. But either way, really well played. Commiserations. We'll see you again soon. Zab and Zoe, you got any questions before I go, or have I discussed everything?
I gotta ask the question that's on everyone's mind, really. When you killed that Ezreal under the turret as a Braum,
yep.
What was up with that flash, man?
Stress, really.
Yeah.
Never really played getting spectated by any more than one person at a time. So it's usually just the fiance in the same room and just playing things like Stardew Valley and stuff. So I think it's just the oh no, I'm currently being watched by more than one person stress levels. But I don't know. No excuses for it. No excuses for it.
No, it's fair.
Fair enough. I was just playing, man. And as a support main, your Braum was actually absolutely through the roof.
Yeah, like Braum pretty much came out and I just mained him for a decent beginning of the season. I think my peak was like gold 194 LP before I went to platinum.
Yeah.
I've got a full-time job and stuff now. I'm no longer at uni, so it's trying to find fiance Dev. Yeah. Humble brag on that one, guys. I'm engaged, right? No, but she is really wonderfully supportive. We just got a new puppy on Monday, so she's currently in the end room watching this with the dog. So
cute. That's lovely to hear. But no, that's
her in the chat, Mego Dragon. She's definitely watching me.
Oh well, it's love to see the support anyway.
Yeah, lovely. Definitely love playing with Fuji Assassins. Even if it's just a couple casual games, I'd love to still definitely scrum against them a couple times.
Yeah, for sure.
Fellow boomer vibes. I'm 25, thank you. My hairline's not 25.
So am I. Welcome to the 25 club.
Yeah,
but no, thank you.
Quarter lifespan, right?
Yeah, exactly. But no, thank you very much for the interview, and we'll see you again soon on the Rift. And yeah, well played again, mate. Commiserations on the loss.
That's totally fine. We'll definitely take it to next game. Pleasure being here.
Wicked. Thank you very much, mate. And that was it. And that is 2 of our teams being interviewed there. And Fuji Assassin's picking up the 2-0. Unfortunately, we're not going to do the Solari VODs tonight. It's a little bit late. So it'll probably be done tomorrow by Gab, I believe. Please confirm in chat if you are going to be doing it. Or later in the week. Apologies, there is a bit of busyness in real life with casters and streamers and stuff. And I think, yeah, Gab's going to be doing both. I think that's Paper Squad and Solari's game as well, starting at 6 PM UK time, something to mention. And yeah, that's been me, Hampy. Anything to say from you guys before we go?
It was definitely fun games to watch and cast even, and I'm actually kind of excited to play against them. See how well they fare up.
Yeah.
Or how well we fare up against them even.
Yeah, definitely. Anything from you, Zoe?
Just a straight out fun game to watch and a fun casting experience with you two guys.
Yeah, wicked. Absolutely loved it. And thank you very much. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye bye.